Welcome to the weekly feature on sportsbookreview.com, Games Too Risky to Bet, where me, Joe Duffy of OffshoreInsiders.com, and Troy West of TroyWins.com, we say you might want to avoid this game because of conflicting information, maybe there's some uncertainty, etc. Now, before I do get to Troy West of TroyWins.com, please make sure you check out the descriptions below. If you're watching this directly on YouTube, you will see some valuable links. It will link to the SBR odds page where you will never get screwed by a line move. Also, make sure you subscribe to Sportsbook Review's YouTube page. You will get all kinds of great videos from a lot of Sportsbook Review personalities, such as the big man on campus who I love. He's got that encyclopedic knowledge. Of course, you can be entertained and informed with Beat the Bag, and there's a legendary Peter Loshak and more. And most importantly, if you like the information we give you, please click on like right now on YouTube. Like this video, and that really helps us out a lot. So before I get to my game, of course, we're going to go to Troy West of TroyWins.com. Troy, what game do you think is too risky to bet?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Last week we gave you the Thursday night game. That was back-to-back weeks. I chose the Thursday night game as my game too risky to bet. And last week, Oakland goes into Kansas City and gets the cover on the final play of the game. And that final play ended up being 7 final plays due to referee calls there at the end. And so that one actually appeared to be too risky to bet. And boy, it sure was. If you had money on that one, you were sweating one way or another for quite some time. I haven't seen a game like that in a while. But this week, I'm going to avoid the Thursday night game, although I do think it is too risky to bet. You've got Miami and Baltimore, 2 teams that have been all over the map this year. But I'm going to go into a Sunday and go to an NFC East in-division rival football game where you've got the Dallas Cowboys traveling into Washington. Right now, I'm seeing this thing at a pick'em. Go to SBRodds.com to find your best odds. But right now, I'm seeing this thing open at a pick'em. Dallas coming off a 40-10 win at San Francisco. Was that Dallas being the Dallas that we thought they were going to be at the start of the year, or was that their opponent, the 0-7 San Francisco 49ers? Either way, Dallas looked phenomenal defensively. Offensively, they got Ezekiel Elliott going. All information appears that he is going to be able to play once again this week, and Dak Prescott looked like another MVP candidate that he might be this year. So you got Dallas Cowboys going into this game looking like their old selves. Washington plays tonight at Philadelphia. Will that wear them down? Will they get a big win? That remains to be unseen. We'll have better information on that tomorrow. But for me, you got 2 really bipolar teams going into this game on Sunday. It's a huge, huge football game. Dallas 3-3. We'll see what Washington goes into it, entered into this game. But for me, Joe, in division, rival football game, pick 'em. Both teams need this game badly. You really don't know what you're going to get from Washington or Dallas at this point. And for those reasons, it's too risky to bet.
Yeah, Troy, thanks for mentioning the Thursday night football game. That was a game in which I had one of my best systems on each side, so I wound up passing, and it didn't surprise me the least bit that it went down to the final play of the games, part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. And I have a game in college football that reminds me of that game, and I think it's also going to go down to the closing seconds. Clemson and Georgia Tech. First of all, at least as we file this report at SBRodds.com, some of the sports books don't even have it up, and the other sports books with a lower limit because Clemson quarterback Kelly Bryant is questionable. Now, this fits into my famed bubble burst angle, which essentially says you either go with a team off of their first loss, or when it comes to college basketball and NBA and even the NFL, I have some systems where you say go with a team after they had a long winning streak snapped, even if it isn't their first loss. So that would say to fade Clemson. But then conversely, my research has shown that college football is the best bye sport. That is, teams benefit from the bye, or if you want to use the equivalent in basketball, after very long rest. In fact, ranked teams off of a bye are 99-64 against the spread, and that includes if they are off of a loss, they are a great play, and even if they are off their first loss of the year. Now, where there is definitely some uncertainty here, there's zero doubt in my mind if Clemson runs the table, they're in the playoffs. But I can kind of understand how Dabo Swinney might say, you know, we don't want to leave anything to doubt, and all of a sudden style points becomes an issue for Clemson, and maybe they do want to start winning by large margins. But they're playing a Georgia Tech team that's always dangerous because of that triple option. But conversely, Clemson's had the 2 weeks to prepare. Now, Georgia Tech, they're 6-0 against the spread, but they haven't been as great of a spread team as maybe their mere record would indicate. They're covering by a modest 9.9 points per game, which is actually very good, but yet 11th in the country, where their one-loss record against the spread would say they've been the best team in the country. Yet they could also be undefeated. They lost by 1 point to a very good Miami team, and they lost by 1 point in the first game of the year to a Tennessee team that we thought maybe was good, but we always know that Tennessee has great talent, but not so good coaching. So they could very easily be undefeated. So as far as I'm concerned, the game too risky to bet is Clemson against Georgia Tech, and I will tell you it will go down to the closing seconds ATS-wise. Again, folks, if you do like these videos, it's so simple. Click on that like. Do it right now. There you go. Extremely easy to do. And subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube page. That way you'll be informed anytime these great informative videos come up. You know I love the big man on campus. I've had the honor of being a guest of his many times. I love him because he kind of balances me out, where I might do the analytical stuff. As far as the organic handicapping, the guy is fantastic. His knowledge is ridiculous. And if you've never watched one of his college basketball videos, while college basketball starts in about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, the guy is ridiculous with his knowledge of college basketball. So make sure you like that and check out the description section for all kinds of valuable links. And on behalf of Troy West of TroyWins.com, I'm Joe Duffy of OffshoreInsiders.com. We will join you next week on SportsbookReview.com's Games Too Risky to Bet.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.